Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, today is my first vlog, and I would like to welcome you to the beautiful Mawaglan part of East Haven. Behind me you'll see the beach houses, and let's get the show rolling. Okay, so the first thing I want to point out is this is my very first vlog, so easy, it's not professional, it's probably being done on Windows 8 Movie Maker. Haven't read that side, didn't know which kind of editing software I want to use yet, but right now this is primitive. First thing I want to touch base on is that we're less than 30 days away from Windows XP being completely cut off by Microsoft. Now, a lot of people have used Windows XP, they swear by it and they'll never let it go, especially the way Vista came out was complete garbage. I was one that hung on to XP as soon as I got a Vista machine. I tried to reinstall the XP onto there, and I couldn't find any drivers which I run on a laptop, so I actually ended up going back to Vista against my own free will. And during that time, I also became familiar with a system called Linux. More importantly, it was Ubuntu. Now, Linux is a good operating system if you're tech savvy. This has gotten better over the years as far as having the drivers properly ready. It's got a lot better over the years versus like when I first started using it 8 years ago. You couldn't find drivers anywhere. You had to ask for help, and it just became a mess. But not to derail too much off the Windows 8 issue, is that Microsoft is wondering if they could give away Windows 8.1 for free, as long as users who get the free software decide to get the Microsoft services such as OneDrive, also Office 365, which is, each one is, it's considered free. SkyDrive, you get 20 gigabytes for free. If you want more, it's kind of like iCloud, you have to pay more into it. Office 365, I believe, is $9.95 a month as well. It's kind of like a service from Microsoft Office where instead of paying for like $200, you pay monthly for it. Kind of the same way how Netflix and Hulu work, you pay it for it monthly, and as long as you pay for it monthly, I guess Microsoft's going to say, okay, you got Windows 8.1 for free. Now, the problem with Windows 8 and 8.1, and I used to work at a Geek Squad in North End Best Buy in Connecticut. As soon as Windows 8 came out, nobody wanted it. They bought a computer, people bought a computer, they try to return the same day or the next day or maybe a couple days later, saying, I don't like Windows 8, and that was the primary reason why people return their computers, because they don't like Windows 8. As an IT professional, there's pros and cons to it. Yes, this is the first operating system that supports Windows 3.0 out of the box. It supports DirectX 11 out of the box. It supports faster boot up times. Those are pros to it. And I boot it right to the desktop. I hardly ever use the Metro menu because it's such a pain in the neck. One good thing about the Metro menu, though, is that you can start typing as soon as you get to the start screen, and it'll let you look for anything. Well, it's kind of like how the start menu works in the previous ones, where you start typing in the start menu and it starts bringing up your things. Now, the only unfortunate side is first of all, people miss that start button menu. It's been there since Windows 1995, or Windows 95 rather. So, after about close to 20 years, when you try to change things around on people, they start getting frustrated, and believe me, I'm one of them. And it's like, why change something when it's already working? I mean, take a look at the Mac operating system, the Apple OS X. Yes, they've added some things, like they always add new programs and add more flexibility, but the dock has always been the same. The layout's always been the same. Their thing is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It makes sense. But of course, now Microsoft is trying to be like all the devices are going to have one software, so to speak, with the Windows 8 phones, Windows 8 being on the computers and desktops. Now, if you have a touchscreen, it's great, but if you don't have a touchscreen, the Metro apps is just a pain. They're looking for a update in spring, so to speak, which will let you boot to the desktop by default. No additional options need to be checked. They're also going to let you have the Metro apps in the toolbar, kind of like how Windows 7, Windows Vista, all of them used to be. They also are going to let you right-click on the Metro menu and have a little context menu pop up instead of down on the bottom on the bar. I guess they're trying to make it better, but this update doesn't fix things. I think it's too little, too late. And the whole thing of them trying to say, "Oh, you have to update to 8.1," is kind of crazy. In fact, they're actually going to start pulling the Windows 7 OEM off the shelf lately too. So if you want to go to Newegg or whatnot and get the OEMs, they're only going to sell for a few months longer. I mean, Microsoft's really being strict on this, and it sucks. If I had the money, I would probably go towards a Mac computer because, again, they haven't changed anything. A desktop is a desktop, an iPhone is an iPhone, an iPod is an iPod. They all have their own different structures. And yes, they may come together through iCloud, but at least it's not the same operating system. It just works. Now, there is an alternative that I usually recommend. If you're tech savvy, I would probably go with something like Linux Mint. People used to say Ubuntu is great, but even Ubuntu, the creators of Ubuntu or the company that runs it, is trying to be like all cross-platform too, the same way Microsoft is. Like, they're going to be coming out with phones and tablets are all going to be like the same operating system. Now, again, the problem with that is that the hardware on the tablets and the phones aren't going to be the same as on a desktop. So that's going to be cumbersome as well. So if you're looking for an alternative, and especially if it's free, you could go with Linux Mint or any other version of Linux if you're tech savvy. But Linux Mint is what I usually recommend for anyone who wants to get the classic feel Windows back, but not deal with all the apps and the Unity crap that Ubuntu offers or that Microsoft offers for the Metro. Now, as far as trying to think off the top of my head what else I could think on this vlog, as far as my personal recommendations, if you have a Windows 7 computer that's running great and you just get checked out like at least once a year and get cleaned up, hang on to it, because at least Microsoft's going to let you keep the Windows 7 updates coming. Whereas if you have XP, you got this probably going to be your last month, this patch Tuesday, today, to get updates, because once April 8th comes out, the security updates for XP are going to be non-existent, unless you're a professional company or you're looking to pay $200 a year to Microsoft per computer to have them continue to give you updates, because at this point you're looking at a 15-year-old operating system. Microsoft's like, look, we let go of 95, we let go of 98, we let go of ME, we let go of 2000. XP is going to be no different. So with that in mind, just keep your heads up. I'll always be around to offer any advice, any issues, and I do apologize for a plane flying up above because I live near an airport. But with that being said, I hope you guys all have a great day. Let me know how this vlog was, and if you have any more questions, you can always join me at Dooley's desktop corner on my Facebook page. I'll offer a link, and I hope you all have a great day, and God bless. Thank you.